you in the trees. Everywhere I look, I feel your heartbeat. Majestic mountains high, in every drop of rain. All of this just shows me how much you love me. I am amazed by your beauty and your bounty. I am amazed by your constant care for me. I am amazed by your beauty and your bounty. I am amazed by your endless grace for me. In every drop of dew, the rustling of the leaves, the chirping of the birds, a perfect symphony. Smell of the flowers, the richness of the soil, the sweetness of the fruit that satisfies. I am amazed by the symphony of your creation. I am amazed by your omnipresence. I am amazed by your beauty and your bounty. I am amazed by your endless grace for me. From a firefly to a shooting star, to the song a cricket sings, from the raging seas to the placid lakes, to the bubbling of the stream, from the rays I feel from the rising sun to the stillness of the night. I am amazed by your beauty and your bounty. I am amazed by your constant love for me. I am amazed by your beauty and your bounty. I am amazed by your beauty and your bounty.
Good morning to all of you. I'd like to know whether we are online now. Yes. Good morning. It's a Thursday morning. And what better way to start our day, actually it's midday, than to be with the millennials, climate reality leaders and climate champions and environmentalists and innovators. That's what we need during the pandemic, post-pandemic, as we recover from this COVID-19 pandemic and we recover from the climate crisis. We need the brains, the wisdom, the tech savviness, and the inventions and projects of our millennials from Luzon to the Visayas, all over the country. And I'm so happy that on our 31st, is it already 31st episode of Stories for a Better Normal, we have covered urban mobility, forest gardens, mental health even, indigenous culture, and many of our youths have joined us because this is a partnership between and among the Climate Change Commission, an agency of government that was created by law when I was a younger senator way back in 2007, and that was my second term already, and enacted into law in 2009 and operationalized 2011 and 12. So it's a baby commission, a sanggol. Hindi naman sanggol, 8 years old, 9 years old. Okay, so I see one of our climate reality leaders nodding here and I will introduce them later. It's also a partnership with one of my favorite advocacy groups, the Mother Earth Foundation, that lives by the law, one of the laws I authored, Republic Act 9003, which is the Ecological Solid Waste Management Law, where you institutionalize the segregation of waste at source, recycling, composting. Sonia Mendoza is online with the Mother Earth Foundation. Make sure that all our Mother Earths are all over the country are always with us. And if you can't, you can join us on Facebook and YouTube because it is posted there. Also with us is the Institute of Sustainable Cities, the Center for Sustainable Cities. Red Constantino and his team help us in our global advocacy as a climate champion of the UNFCCC and the UNDRR, the Global Champion for Resilience, and Climate Reality Philippines. Nashreen was with my office. She was with the Climate Change Commission. Many of our climate reality leaders all over the country were trained, no less by the former Vice President Al Gore. And I'm happy that they're really innovating and using what they learned. And even before they became climate reality leaders, that's why they were elected and appointed and selected as such, because they had great innovations. So I'm so happy to join us. Oh, let me not forget, joining us also and partnering with us is the Department of Agriculture, the Agricultural Training Institute, because we give away our DA starter kits every week, as well as our protected areas guidebook. So the DNR is also our partner. That's why we have Attorney Ipat Luna, a former undersecretary of the DNR, who's my consultant and an expert on biodiversity. Again, I would like to interest our young climate leaders, our environmentalists, to look into the expanded National Integrated Protected Area System, ang haba, no? INIPAS, that declared protection of 94 protected and conserved areas around the country. Yes, I'm so proud of my laws. Introduction pa lang, 15 minutes na ang programa. And the two videos you saw, the first, I am amazed. Sinulat po ng inyong abang lingkod. Totoo, yung lyrics lang. Yung musika, ginawa ng isang kaibigan kong pastor sa California, yung anak niya. Tapos, yung mga video ay galing sa iba't ibang lugar. The next video, gusto ko lang kasing ipakita ang biodiversity ng Antique. Kaya linabas namin yung pangalawang Antique video. Kasama natin sa araw na ito ay founder ng Light of Hope. Siya rin ay climate reality leader. And for those who still want to be climate reality leaders, you can just contact Nashreen Castro and even Victoria, who was with you earlier on Zoom, to link you with Climate Reality Philippines because we want to recruit more climate reality leaders. You will recall that 5 years ago, I brought to the Philippines Vice President Al Gore. We even went to Ground Zero in Tacloban in Leyte and visited solar installations in Metro Manila, like in SM Mall of Asia. So, climate reality leader from Lapu-Lapu City, Jovi Hill Montajes, yes, only 34 years old, a clean energy advocate. I think there's no one in the Zoom room and no one who would dare watch Stories for a Better Normal who's not a clean energy advocate. He is a communications and electronics engineering graduate. He started this in 2017 yet with a solderless solar night lamps in a bottle project made by utilizing solar renewable energy and recyclable plastic bottles. Great. And he trained as a climate reality leader just recently, and it is focused on improving the lives of off-grid communities. That's really, really great. You'll tell us more about it, Jovi. Perhaps you can be seen on screen and say hello, Jovi, all the way from Lapu-Lapu City. Are you there in Cebu right now, Jovi?
Hello, Ma'am Lauren. Good
Hi,
morning.
hi, kamusta? Are you there now in Lapu-Lapu?
Yes, ma'am. We're in
Very
Lapu-Lapu.
good. Very good. Tell us about your project later. And now we go to another founder. Nakakatuwa ang mga batang ito, no? Founder of Waste Clean Tech and Waste App Climate Reality Leader. Ang gagaling na mga recruits natin sa Climate Reality Philippines. And another very young engineer, only 28 years old. Yes, engineer Regiel Gonzalez. I hope I mentioned your name correctly. Regiel Rage. Oh, Climate Rage. Maganda yata yun, ah. Is a 28-year-old. Mali ba, Rage? Raje? Mali?
Rage po. Rage.
Rage,
Yeah.
okay.
You
He's
can
a
call me Rage.
20-year-old founder and CEO of two social tech startups, Bridge 360 IT Solutions and Waste Philippines. Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that. She works as an innovation specialist of Plan, great, international, and gives leadership, environmental, and technopreneurial talks to students. You know, can I request all of you to give lectures, brief lectures to the University of Antique, 5 campuses, and maybe to other SUCs as well. Well, nakakatuwa kayo. She hopes to solve the country's problems through innovation and technology. I would also ask you to look at my law in 2019, the Innovation Act. That's really to give way and to support young innovators like yourselves. Okay. Wow, robotics and 3D technology. That's great. Okay. So you were a climate reality leader just recently also last year. Another young innovator, a co-developer of Trash Panda, is Marie Sapuay, a 30-year-old co-founder of Circula Raccoon. Alam mo, daming kong tatanong sa inyo. I mean, names, how you founded this startup, founded to help Filipinos become more environmentally conscious, yes, and to shift from wasteful consumption. Naku, tama ka. Kasi zero waste talaga dapat tayo. Yan ang buod ng RA 9003. So, from Rage, we go to Marie. Can you say hello? Marie, are you there?
Hello, good morning, Ms. Lauren. Good morning
Good
to
morning.
everyone
Hi.
watching on Facebook
Yes.
Live.
You're a software engineer, right?
Yes, po.
And you founded this Circula Raccoon, which you will tell us about. And you took computer science and postgraduate in, wow, urban planning. Yan ang importante, and regional planning. Very good. And great, you attended the UNEP Summit for the Environment, but when you were very young, I was a UNEP awardee in 2001 in Turin, Italy. So I'm glad that the United Nations Environment Program, the UNEP, continues its work when you attended it at the age of 14 in Japan. Yes, I'll get back to you. I see your Sansevieria at your back. I used to have my Sansevieria, but it died. There were brown stalks yesterday. I took it out. You teach me how to retain it as green as yours. Okay, yes. And another young innovator is very young, 24 years old, Glenn Ongpin, CEO of Kloop Nakakatawa mga pangalan nyo. You teach me your names, ha? I mean, how you found his names. He's a materials engineering graduate of my alma mater. Lahat ba kayo UP? Lahat UP, no? Okay. With a passion for social entrepreneurship. I didn't know there was such a thing as humanitarian engineering. Can you tell me later what it means, or is it a subject or a course? And initiated this social enterprise called CLOOP. What does CLOOP mean? Okay, to reduce the amount of plastic waste. Very good. Let us recruit them, because I filed the bill along with many others. Ako, since senator pa, I filed it in Congress. Maybe end of my term in Congress, di pa to batas. Yung ban on plastic, single plastic use. Okay, so CLOOP is a social enterprise to preserve the environment, very good, and to provide economic opportunities. Could you say hello, Glenn Ongpin? Are you also with us?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Deputy
Hi.
Speaker, for the very
Yes.
kind words and introduction. I'm looking forward
Oh.
to being here. Dito sa
Okay,
talk.
very good, very good. Okay, see you later. Wilvie Anyora is a co-founder and strategy head of Ato Ani Biopack. Ano man pansin ko, pag yung mga millennials, ang mga pangalan, hindi na yung usual. Tayo kasi traditional lang. Ano, sila, yung Kloop, yan, Ato Ani, okay. She's 30 years old, a chemical engineer, MBA degree, ang gagaling, okay. Corporate experience in multinationals, for strategy, digitization, innovation, finance, logistics, quality. Wow, wow. Passion for sustainability. Alam mo, parang kayong lahat, ipagsama-sama nyo lahat ng inyong advocacy, ako yun. So parang I see bits of myself in each of you. Finance, innovation, climate, environment, waste, zero waste. Nakakatuwa. So, having met all of you this morning, hindi na ako mafo-frustrate, hindi na ako mawawala ng pag-asa, hindi na ako magagalit. Kasi minsan sabi ko, ay, 3 term akong senator. I've enacted all the environmental laws. Why is the government, the executive, not implementing it? Why are people stubborn and not doing it? But when I am faced with you, I know that there's hope in our country. What did in the inauguration of President Biden, di ba? But it was very, very late yesterday, actually last night already. And there was a very moving poem, right? By Amanda Gorman. And it was quite long, but one thing she said that change is our children's birthright. Love is a legacy, and change is our children's birthright, according to the poem read during President Biden and Kamala Harris's inaugural early this morning Philippine time. So change is your birthright. Change is our birthright. Let's start now with Jovi Hill. Yes, did I acknowledge Wilvie? Yes? Okay, good.
Hello.
Are you in Metro Manila, Wilvie?
Yes, I'm in Metro Manila right
Okay,
now.
sige. O magsimula tayo. Alam mo, pwede tayo mag-Tagalog, mag-Ingles, mag-Taglish, mag-Bisaya, mag-Ilonggo, ganun. So, maayong buntag, Jovi.
Mayong buntag, Ma'am Lauren.
Yeah, paliwanag mo ang ginagawa nyong light of light, light of hope, at paano ba ito makakatulong sa mga walang kuryente at paano babawasan ang ginagastos sa kuryente. Yan. We watch your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you po, Ma'am Lauren. So, Light of Hope PH po, it's an impact startup that is focused on improving the lives of the less privileged of the grid communities. And that is by utilizing clean renewable energy technologies and also the Internet of Things technologies. Next. So ito po yung problem natin. 13 million Filipinos po still does not have electricity. And the big chunk of the reason for that is poverty. And the next is they are located in far-flung areas wherein the grid cannot reach them. Next. So the journey of Light of Hope PH started in 2017, where a group of friends wanted to make a difference. We started in Tulang de Ot Island. We installed a simple solar home setup wherein 5 families have benefited for that project. And then it from 2017, it started to grow. And then we started to build another project on the next slide, which is what we call the solar night lamps in a bottle project. So for this project, we were solving plastic waste, which is the PET plastic bottles, and also energy poverty in off-the-grid communities. We also went to schools to do workshops, and the lamps that they were able to assemble will be donated to the communities that are near them. Next. So far, from 2017 to 2020, we're able to have 1,400 family beneficiaries with the support of funders, supporters, and sponsors. And also, most important thing is we were able to upcycle 2,800 PET plastic bottles. And we were able to engage 1,000 volunteers, especially from the youth sector and students. We were able to reach Cebu province, Bohol province, and also Kalibo Aklan. Next. And now, since the pandemic started, wherein our education system and the work has started to move into online, and our communities that we serve, the off-the-grid communities, is now more marginalized than ever. So we wanted to solve that problem, and we came up with the Cloud Grid project. So Cloud Grid project, it can light up a household, and also it has an ability to charge their mobile phones, and it will reduce their energy cost. So that's version 1. And we're also developing the version 2, wherein focus po siya into a more livelihood setting. So it's a solar-powered piso Wi-Fi system, very affordable internet, 5 peso, 10 peso, or even 1 peso. And then you will have a livelihood out of that. Next. And we are also developing our Cloud Grid IoT platform, wherein will be presented in here. Sorry for the motorcycle sound. So all the energy consumption of the units and where are the units located, it will be populated in the Cloud Grid IoT platform. With this platform, we will see a real-time data of the energy consumption, and also it will equate to the CO2 avoidance value of that total energy consumption. Next. And then recently in December, Cloud Grid project also won the grand prize for the Unified Awards of YCL Philippines. And we will be deploying 5 units of Cloud Grid version 1 through the support of the US Embassy in the Philippines and YCL Philippines in Maguindanao province in first quarter of this year. And if you are interested to support the Cloud Grid project, if you're a company, you wanted to offset your carbon footprint, you can reach out to us. If you want to offset your carbon footprint by funding impactful projects like the Cloud Grid project, kindly send us an email at hello@lightofhopeph.org. Thank you.
Very good. Ang dami na yung mga plastic bottles na na-reuse para ilaw. That I understand very clearly. These are simple bulbs. Ginamit nyo ang mga boteng plastic sa community at meron kayong, yes, solar panels sa kanilang roof o sa kanilang backyard.
Yes, ma'am. We put the
Ano
solar
ang
panels on
kanya?
the rooftop.
Yes. At that would be enough to charge a cell phone or to have a small television set or perhaps even a small light, ilaw, cell phone, electric fan, right? Mm-mm.
Yes, ma'am. So this is our prototypes right here
Yes.
for the cloud grid units.
The cloud grid units come with bottles, right? In the solar system or iba yun?
Cloud grid units, ito po yung bagong project natin.
Yes.
Different po siya sa Solar Night Lamps in a Bottle na project.
Yes. And how much is one cloud grid? And do the communities have to buy it, or these are donations because these are sponsored from your NGO?
Yeah, so what we're doing right now is we reach out to organizations or NGOs to fund the materials of the cloud grid units.
So that you can
And then, yeah, for the community itself, we don't want to give it for free because our experience is if you give it for free, then they will not take care of it. So we give it at a very, very minimum price. Let's say 5 peso to 10 peso a day. That's it. So that they will take
how
care of the
long,
unit.
that 5 pesos a day, how long is the installment?
We're still thinking about it. Let's say 2 years to 3 years and they will have the unit already.
Mm-hmm. And that cloud grid unit, yung katabi mong yan, yes. What can it actually do? Ano ang konsumo or power ng cloud grid?
So it can power LED
Yes.
bulb,
Okay.
and also it can power a ceiling fan, 12-volt ceiling fan,
Okay.
and also it can charge mobile phones.
Okay.
And it has a capacity of 192 watt hour. So you
192.
can,
Okay.
yeah, you can use your light bulb the whole night.
Okay. Yes. Pero yung cloud grid na yan also comes with a solar system sa tuktok ng bahay o sa backyard nila. Tama? Oo.
That is
Yeah.
correct, ma'am.
Parang
It's a
siya
complete set.
Parang siya yung charger niya. Parang dyan naka-store.
Battery. Yes.
Battery
Yung
pack.
energy is dito naka-store. Merong battery dito sa loob.
Yes. Why do you call it a cloud grid?
Yes. We came up with a cloud grid name because we are sending data from the unit, IoT data, to the cloud, our cloud server.
What is IoT?
Yeah, IoT is Internet of Things.
Yes.
So anything connected to the internet. So we have a module here inside. It's like meter ng Meralco,
Okay.
pero it's connected to the internet, digital. Like you will see your consumption live in the platform. No need for someone to take note of your energy consumption. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, yung Light of Hope mo, nagsimula sa ilaw na plastic, na PET bottles. Pero ngayon, yung PET bottles na yan, kasama na ng cloud grid at yung solar system. Correct?
That is correct, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is your own innovation, Jovi.
It's a team effort. Yeah.
Team
The whole
effort,
team was
yes.
contributed for the
Oh.
project.
Sana i-register na ninyo as your own because it's easily copied also. Right? Yes.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. That's one thing that we are trying to look at for now. Like people who are interested to join with us. Invest for the project, for the people and for the planet, and also for partners who wanted to offset their carbon footprints by funding the project.
Okay. So ang kaya niya ay 192 kilowatts. Watts.
Watt hour.
192 watts, correct?
192 watt hour.
Watt hour.
Yes.
192. Oo.
So you divide that, for example, meron kang 5 watts na LED bulb.
Yes.
So you divide 192 by 5. Ang labas noon is yung hours kung ilan oras siya
I
maglalast.
see. Okay. And how do you recharge that cloud grid?
Through the solar panel.
How many panels ang
Rooftop.
kasama niyan? Ilang panels ang kasama?
Dito sa version 1 natin, meron siyang 50 watts na solar panel.
Okay, 50 watts. Okay. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
ito.
I hope you could stay on. And are those panels Philippine made or imported from China?
I think they are from China. We just bought it from a reseller here in the Philippines.
Maybe it would be the cost would be less. It would be Philippine made panel. I know much about solar because my son, as you know, is a solar developer, but I will not talk about the family during my shows because he is a different person from me, but I'm mighty proud of him. But anyway, thank you so much, Jovi. And from Jovi in Lapu-Lapu City, we proceed with Engineer Rage. And I hope you can stay on, Jovi, and see the other climate reality leaders as well as the other young innovators. Si Rage, okay,
Ay po.
hindi ka na kontento sa isa, dalawa ang iyong tech startup. Could you brief us on your two tech startups focusing on waste, clean tech? Ano yung waste clean tech app? Ano naman yung waste app? Ayan, and how do we get those apps on our phones? So brief us, ano yung clean waste, ano yung waste apps, how do people use your apps? So we have Engineer Rage Gonzalez who is with us today.
Hi po. Thank you so much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure and honor to be here po pala. And also the two social tech that I founded was actually Bridge 360 and Waste Clean Tech. So the Waste Clean Tech created the Waste app. The Waste app is actually a web-based application, and we want it to be more mobile for people to use it. So it's a mobile solution, but it's a web-based solution. So we want to increase the waste diversion rate, and also we wanted to help our the people that what we call scavengers. So because we believe in waste that they are the main people or one of the key stakeholders in this giant and wicked problem of waste management. So yeah. So yes, well, next. So the problem that we were trying to solve was that we are trying to solve right now is that we have 5 that we have identified mainly. So 1 is the increase in the residential waste, and then 2, increase in the commercial waste, of course, because of the consumption, because of the rise of the Filipino middle class. But the residential waste is also rising again because of the online shopping and online platforms that we have for buying things, and thus the need for many landfills, and so these landfills has their lifespans, and because of the increase in the residential and commercial waste, these landfills are being filled up really easily and very quick. And so we also have the increase in waste scavengers who are also looking forward to these landfills from cities, trying to make ends meet. And they are one of the people that's actually helping the whole system of waste management so that it will have an increase in the waste diversion, and they are not being seen. They're always there, but they are not seen as a person. So undignified work pa yung waste scavengers. And then, of course, the waste haulers are there with the different problems in the logistics side, and these waste haulers spending millions of pesos for IEC, for door-to-door, and for picking up garbages. So yeah, next po. And so what we thought, what we think right now is the solution is that we want to have this integrated solid waste management approach be combined with the community-based waste management, so that it will become empower the community through self-resilience. And also, we are combining these two approaches to the mobile governance and web application so that there's citizen engagement, there's participation, and we strengthen the transparency and accountability in our waste management because right now we don't have the data, good data, wherein all of this data are actually can be seen so that you can have a decision, a better decision for waste management. Because if you don't know, if you don't have a way to see the numbers and you cannot measure the problem, then you cannot or you can never solve the problem because you cannot measure it. So yeah. Next po. And so here we are. So we have created waste. Yeah, so the product now here is something that we want to make sure that there's this community links of households, businesses, and waste collectors. And then we want to have this network of eco aids from waste scavengers to large garbage trucks, who you can access to with your phone, with your web app, so with your browsers. So yeah, straight to the browsers, you can access waste. And right now we're developing this instant communication and transparency for a chance to communicate with the collectors so that they will be aware of where they will deliver the waste. Next po. Together with this web app is also a platform for waste management on the other side. So it's we want this to be a reliable and eco-friendly end-to-end waste management platform for LGUs, for real estate developers and waste management companies. Next po. Yeah, so other benefits that we would like to show is that there's democratization of philanthropy, there's a tool for waste management. This is a data gathering tool as well. And we're now doing the schedule of collection reminders. Next po. So it started, the journey started as, it was my what do you call that? It's my product during my master's degree in Asian Institute of Management. So it started as a concept there. As you can see, I was just doodling about what is waste. And then it came into light that we want to find ways for the waste. So we're finding ways so that we can make sure that the waste journey will continue, not just in the homes, not just in the landfills, but actually it will go through the circular economy part. And thus, I've gone through a lot of junk shops, a lot of scavengers. I've talked to a lot of people, stakeholders for the past year and 2019, because 2019 was the year when I went to Bacolod to try to help Bacolod City and launch the project. But we learned so much about what we need to do. And so 2020, we recalibrate and we pivoted to different parts of, so that we can make sure that the waste would actually be para sa masa at talagang tama sa mga pang barangay. And so we went around. Next po. So ito lang po yung mga other. So I even went to landfills para to really see what's happening on the ground. So ground zero kumbaga. Next po. So experience ko rin firsthand what's it like to be in the landfill. So personally parang ang hirap magtrabaho kung ito ang work setting mo. Parang very having a work from home setup is really good. And with these experiences, I always like saying I'm very glad that I have this setup because that work environment is really, really bad. And so I was thinking na paano kaya yung mga lakal natin, yung mga waste scavengers natin, matulungan natin. Yung mga taong nasa laylayan ay matulungan natin. Since sila nga yung tumutulong sa atin para yung circular economy ay mangyari. yung recycling process actually happens because sila yung nagdadala ng maraming recyclables sa junk shop na hindi naman mangyayari yon kung wala sila. Ayun po. Next po. Ayan po. So, next din po. Mga pictures lamang po ito, documentations. Ayan. Ito po yung team ko. Next po. So, we've been traveling, we've been doing a lot of advocacy campaigns and talks. Ayan po. Next po. So, this is just our timeline. So, we hope that within 2 years, we can have like 2 to 10 LGUs on board of the waste. Next po. Next. Ayan. So basically po, this is where you are now setting up your location. So the left side is the web application. The middle one is a mobile browser, and the third one is the collector side. So yung dalawa kung nasa left and middle ay mga waste disposer. So this is just showing on how what will happen if you use the platform and you ask for your garbage to be picked up. So you can even rate the EcoAid, give them feedback for better service. And then kung ikaw naman ay EcoAid, part of the LGU or a waste management company that the company is using the platform, ganito po yung mangyayari. So kung ikaw po yung company or LGU, ito naman po yung platform mo. So you have this admin side wherein you can see a live map nasaan na ang aking mga collector. Sila ba ay nagtatrabaho? Sila ba ay hindi nagtatrabaho? So kunwari ito, you can check whether your trash is when you're trying to asking for or requesting for your garbage to be picked up, you can actually pick whether it's recyclable, biodegradable, or residual. And then, are you going to sell it or are you going to donate it? So this is where philanthropy comes in. So if you want to donate it, then bahala na si EcoAid kung yung EcoAid ay the kariton level, kasi may mga barangay na ganoon. Kung nakakariton lang sila yung mga botidyaryo na EcoAid, then sa kanila na yung makukuha nila sa junk shop, right? So that's your help na din sa kanila. Pero kung you want to sell it naman, you can also. So that's waste. Thank you so much po. For the next po pala, for the summary, we just like to want to empower barangay EcoAids and have to achieve circular economy, so that hopefully we are aiming that up to 50% increase in the waste diversion rate if and only if lahat na LGUs actually do this and help in segregating in proper segregation, and we want to provide a pseudo infrastructure in the waste management sector. For the people, we want to improve their lives and the lives of the poorest sector of our country, and for the profit, hopefully we can lift the poor sectors from informal economy to the formal economy using waste. Thank you po.
Thank you very much. There are two things I can suggest to help you as well. First, perhaps it would be good for you to link with Sonia Mendoza and her team sa Mother Earth Foundation, because sila ang tumulong sa akin para i-implement yung Republic Act 9003 Ecological Solid Waste Management Law. Kasi ang layon ng batas na yon na konti na lang ang pipick upin, dahil konti na lang dapat ang napupunta sa landfill yung mga residual or lata, kasi lahat na re-resikulo, as you mentioned, the circular economy, the food waste would go to organic compost, and the bote lata plastic can be recycled, yes, picked up and put it on MRF, and the other waste na hindi kayang maresikulo, yun ang mapupunta sa residual. So first, link with that so that they can see how they can use your waste app. Second, it would be good to also present to the National Solid Waste Commission of the DNR, which is the commission that is supposed to help implement RA 9003. And third, mag-pilot ka in an LGU or a barangay. If you're willing to do that, we can link you with a very proactive Barangay Holy Spirit in Quezon City na bago pa ginawa ko yung batas noong 1998, sila yung nag-segregate na ng waste. So, kasi maganda, may proof of concept, yung mga innovations nyo, great ideas, kung talagang matagumpay sa isang lugar, lahat ng ibang lugar, kokopyahin at gagamitin yan. So that's really great. So ang layon mo talaga ay mabawasan ang waste na kinokolekta at napupunta sa landfill, right?
Opo, that's
Using
correct
this
po.
app. Yes.
Kasi,
Perhaps also you can help us at the end of the show. All your contacts will be there. How do we get your app on our phones or any smartphone? Kaya?
the good thing about this is we pivoted po because we tried to pilot test it in Bacolod, and when it was in mobile app version, hindi siya na-adapt ng maayos. And so we pivoted and we shifted to a progressive web app, as we call it. It's a new technology wherein it can be used for your web browser, and it can act like a mobile app, but it's still a mobile browser. So it's still an internet-based web browsing lang. You don't need to download anything. It's
Okay.
yeah, so yun.
Walang bayad. Walang
Wala
bayad.
pong
Okay. Sa simpleng instructions sa mga may internet ngayon, how do they go to the Waste app?
Actually
Walk
po,
us through that. Yeah.
actually you just have to go to your web browser po and then type
Waste app.
waste.ph. Yan.
Waste, W-A-Y, right?
STE, opo.
Way, find the way, W-A-Y-S-T-E.
For your waste.
So i-type lang yung waste. That's it.
Opo, waste.ph po.
.ph. Okay, very good. So let's try it. Let's see if the others, Marie, who's next, of Trash Panda, will also be talking more about trash, has a waste app. I will ask my staff na mas techie sa akin how to traverse that. But thank you so much. And I hope you stay on, just like Jovi had stayed on. And now we have Marie,
Thank you po.
CEO of Trash Panda. How can the Waste app and Trash Panda work together? Paano ba naumpisahan tong Trash Panda? Maybe Marie Marie Sapuay, who developed this, could also explain to us. Hi, Marie. Yes. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
hello.
Yes.
Good morning po ulit. Thank
Morning.
you po, Deputy Speaker Lauren Legarda, for inviting me. And to everyone watching, good morning din po. I am Marisa Puay, co-founder and CEO of Circular Recon, and I am the lead developer of Trash Panda. So, ayun po, yung aming app po is fairly new. It was in fact developed during the pandemic. Ang nangyari po ay, nung una po ay iba yung idea namin kung ano yung gagawin namin for how to encourage what we call the circular economy. Next slide, please. Although nabanggit po ito in passing, if we could go to the next slide, yes. Circular economy for us in Circular Recon is the idea na yung mga gamit po na mga pinagsawaan, yung mga itatapon na basically is imbes na itapon po, ibabalik po sa manufacturer. So yun po ang aming concept of circular economy na inadapt po namin from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Next slide. So from there, nagpa-survey po kami last year about ano po ba talaga ang nagiging problems ng mga households when it comes to waste segregation and recycling. And ang inaasahan po namin, expected po namin masasagot ay supposedly may kita kaming something to do with education. People probably don't know about the laws. People probably don't know how to segregate. How segregation is done in households, in offices and such. Ano bang nangyayari after collection? Sino ba yung mga dapat kausapin? So yun yung mga in-expect namin na lumabas sa survey. Instead, ang lumabas na mga concerns is maraming marunong mag-segregate. Ang problem ay yung nangongolekta ang hindi nag-ensure na segregated pa rin yung sinegregate ng mga households. And these are people who know that there's a law about waste, it turns out. Yung mga sumagot ng aming mga survey, ang sabi po nila, yung mga community waste collectors po nila ay mixed collection ang ginagawa. So kahit po mag-segregate sila, hindi po nila kayang maasahan yung kanilang mga waste collectors to keep them segregated. Next slide, please. So we founded Circular Raccoon. My co-founder and I are both urban planning graduates from the UP School of Urban and Regional Planning. And we decided to create a company that builds apps that will make landfills obsolete. So basically, ang pangalan po na Circular Raccoon, pag pinag-mash niyo po together, actually forms partially the term circular economy. And ang primary goal po namin is to help Filipinos transition into a stable circular economy. Now, dahil po bagong-bago pa lang yung term na circular economy, and ang mga developed countries ay nauna na po sa implementation of circular economy, we wanted to help Filipinos to also do the same. So our first goal was to provide Filipinos with the convenience of helping them divert their recoverable waste away from landfills through our app and services. Now, when we say recoverable waste, we mean recyclables and compostable waste. Next po. So, the services that we came up with based on the feedback from people were on-demand recoverable waste collection and coaching. So we still wanted to educate the public. Hindi pwedeng mawala yun. But the demand for a need for alternate method of collection was what came out of our survey. So gumawa po kami ng ganitong setup. People would look for collection services for recoverable waste. So ideally, that would be both recyclable and compostable waste. We would be transporting them to recycling facilities and composting sites directly. And through the app, people would be able to view their collection statistics, ensuring transparency that their collected waste will be diverted from landfills. People want to be ensured na yung segregated na recyclables po nila, yung binubukod po nila mga biodegradable waste will definitely not find their way into landfills. And yung effort po nila para mag-segregate ay hindi masasayang. So yun po yung hinahanap ng mga tao, it turns out. And lastly, we want to help people to learn to better manage recoverable waste to help preserve high-quality farm materials recovery. Na ito po ay isa sa mga core principles ng RA 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. So ideally, we want as much materials recovered away from the waste stream. Next slide, please. And that is how we came up with Trash Panda. Now, the name Trash Panda is not by coincidence. We took it first of all dun po sa millennial slang term for raccoon, which is connected po sa aming mascot na nasa logo po ng Circular Raccoon. So, ganun po namin na i-connect yung idea ng Trash Panda. This is a slang term already commonly used in social media, in pop culture as well. So, especially for the younger generations, ito po ay nagiging familiar term na po. So, what we did was to develop an on-demand recoverable waste collection and coaching app. And through our Trash Panda app, yun pong mga dinescribe ko pong mga features of booking and tracking and learning is i-integrate po namin through the app. Next, please. Okay, so what we did so far is a prototype. What we wanted to prove first na yung services po na may provide namin would be stable enough before we actually officially launch the app. Now, what we did was to already launch the app on Google Play, but we haven't officially launched it yet. Sinabi lang po namin sa mga pilot participants na kung willing po silang gumamit ng app, available na po. Pero hindi pa po officially launched, and despite that, meron na po kaming mga 90 users. It was interesting to note na kahit po hindi pa officially announced, people went out on their own and were curious enough to try the app. So ito po ang mga features ng app. Meron pong map for checking the location. Like I said, may waste trackers for the transparency. Ang mga kinolekta po namin for the pilot, which we held last month, were only paper waste, used beverage cartons, aluminum cans, and tin cans. Notably, kasi po yung paper waste and yung metals are the most marketable types of recyclables. And for the used beverage cartons, for the pilot, we partnered with Tetra Pak Philippines because they were very much interested in collecting back Tetra Paks para sila po ay sila na po mismo ang magre-recycle ng Tetra Paks. And then included din po sa app ay yung tutorials module. Next po. Next slide,
Yes.
please. Okay, so for our pilot, what we did was to launch a set of instructions dun po sa Facebook page namin. So we asked people to register for collection through this link here. It is actually a Google form to see how many people are interested in availing of the services. And from there, binasa po namin dyan yung kung saan po kami magpa-pilot. So ang lumabas po is within Metro Manila, the top pilot sites with the highest service demand are from Quezon City, Parañaque City, and Pasig City. So for these places, we asked them to provide their contact details and such para po sila po ay maging mga target places po namin for the pilot runs na kakatapos na po namin last month. So yun nga po, the 4 types of waste that I mentioned, pinag-prepare po namin sila in different ways. We asked them to clean them, to rinse them and such, ganyan. And on the scheduled collection date, dahil po hindi pa namin masabi kung talaga bang magbubook ang mga tao through the app, or do people prefer the iOS version, or do they prefer a different way of communicating, we decided to schedule the collection first instead of having booking. So it turns out that people were still interested regardless of how the services were to be availed. So kinontak po namin sila through email and text to wait for the collector to arrive at their location. Yung pong merong version ng app sa phones nila, sinundan po nila yung collector's app. So from there, we were able to collect, and yung record po ng how many kilograms per type of recyclables were recorded also into the app. And kung saan pong mga recyclers, naka-indicate po sa app kung saan po dinala yung mga collected waste. And dahil nga po pandemic, we partnered with jeepney drivers whose livelihoods had been displaced due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, please. So ayun po, marami namang natuwa. We did not expect the overwhelming responses and support that we got through Facebook. So marami pong nagbigay ng mga positive feedback is our public posts about Trash Panda. Some of them were our pilot participants and others simply were interested in what we had to offer. Dito po sa lower right are pictures from our pilot run in Parañaque. So makita niyo po na meron kaming partner na jeep, and the bulk of the recyclables collected, since we excluded plastics for a while, is cartons naman po ang pinakamarami namin na-kolekta. Next po. And aside from that, since yun nga po ang primary po naming aim was to educate the public, before we launched the app and the services, we came up with Trash Panda Therapy, where we co-founders, having urban planning experience, went into coaching therapy sessions, so to speak, with interested trainees. These are a set of 3 one-on-one sessions about kung ano po yung mga current na eco-friendly habits nila, what are they doing right, what can they improve. And syempre, since waste management po ang aming forte, we always start the first session with something to do with educating our trainees about what the laws and ordinances are about waste management. And I suppose that's it. So ang aming pong Facebook page is here in this link, and you can also visit our website and contact us through this email. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy that at least 2, actually, all of you implement Republic Act 9003. And what you're doing is innovate na nyo. Kasi nung sinulat ko yung batas na yun, that was 1998. And it was enacted into law in January of 2001. But fast forward, 20 years later, 2021, we have your apps, Waste app, Trash Panda app, all of these implementing the law using technology. I noticed that many of you mentioned landfills. We know very well that as much as possible, we do not throw our waste in landfill, hindi ba? Because it's a circular economy. Whatever we create, whatever we manufacture, we should be responsible for where it must go. We must be responsible for its destruction. You create it, but you destroy it. In short, dapat yan biodegradable as much as possible. So the least waste that should go to landfill, the better. Now question, ano na ang matagumpay na LGU or barangay na nag-apply ang Trash Panda para maging modelo sa iba? Or what kind of demographics ang mga nag-inquire sa inyo or sumali or gumagamit ng inyong app, so that we can have an idea and we know how we can help you. Just like I mentioned earlier about the Waste app, we can link you with Mother Earth Foundation, we can link you with the DNR, National Solid Waste, or even with LGUs, and really link you with LGUs. You can pilot barangays, you can pilot municipalities, so that hindi masayang ang inyong mga innovation.
Ayun po, with regards to the LGU who has been the most exemplary to participate in our pilot runs, I would point out that Parañaque, even before the pilot run, has already been reaching out to us. So Senro Parañaque was curious enough to ask po ano po ang ginagawa ng Trash Panda. And nung binento ko nga po kung ano po ang purpose ng Trash Panda, they said they were willing to support us in our endeavors and see how our services can complement their current programs and projects. So dun po sa Parañaque, ang nangyari po ay nag-pilot po kami in Barangay Merville and in BF Homes. And it was interesting to note po na ang feedback po ng pilot run namin is that they wanted to see a wider, community-wide application of the services na hindi lang po per household ang magiging collection. They were interested to see how an entire community can benefit from the services.
My suggestion is, why don't you all email blast all municipal mayors and city mayors? Let's focus on that. That's in the website, all their contacts. And then mano-mano to call them and call the the city administrator, municipal administrators. But perhaps what you could also do is share this with state universities and colleges. We can start with them. Dahil, syempre, sa nag-start ang pagtuturo sa akademya. So if perhaps our state universities and colleges and the students they would easily understand this and be able to use it in their communities. But it's so interesting how my law of more than 20 years ago, there are innovation in its application through technology which is available now. This is definitely not the last time that we will be in touch with you. We hope that you could be models for other students, for other youths, for other young techpreneurs, entrepreneurs to do innovation to help the environment. Thank you so much, Marie. And we have now Kloop, Glenn Ongpin of Kloop. Thank you. So Glenn, tell us, you're one of the youngest, I think, the youngest in this group now. What is Kloop? The Kloop I know is a Kloop for land use planning. But iba yung Kloop mo, OOP, pagre-recycle ng plastic. How do you help urban poor communities? Show us your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deputy Speaker. No, I'm really excited to share yung solution namin sa Kloop and how we can help mga urban poor communities. Nga. So next, please. So I just want to share, when I was in college, I was taking materials engineering as well. So for me, I really got to see yung plastic waste problem firsthand. Yung thesis ko actually was working with the people in Payatas and how to develop yung mga recycling centers. So I got to see na plastic is such a big problem talaga. Sobrang daming gamit talaga ngayon, especially now sa pandemic, no? So na-realize ko na we're one of the largest polluters of water waste, one of the largest polluters ng plastic, no? And I wanted to see na how could we use this? Isa sa mga weaknesses natin na kahit maganda yung legal framework natin dito sa Pilipinas, but hindi siya naayos sa but hindi maganda yung execution, no? So what we want to see is how do we use yung isang weaknesses, yung maraming plastic generation. So what we want to do is try to use that as a way to serve others, no? So I want to share that idea, no? You asked me kanina the deputy speaker kung ano ibig sabihin ng humanitarian engineering. So this is a concept that was taught to me dun sa University Gates to. And in a nutshell lang, it's about applying engineering concepts as a way to really help yung mga underserved communities, yung mga underprivileged communities. So yun, I want to show in the picture that we have here. Ito yung sa mga ibang mga classmates namin. So these are my group of friends. Tapos we were bound with the idea talaga. Lahat kami engineers eh. We thought, in what way can we use plastic waste to help those in need? Kami, we are very engineering heavy tech talaga yung background namin. But how can we use that knowledge as a way to serve yung communities? So ika nga, we took the phrase is scholar ng at para sa bayan to heart talaga. So yun, that was the thing that we came up with. We wanted to use technology background namin to help others. And that's where we came up sa Kloop. So next, please. So yun, in that picture, we're around 20 to 23 years old, no? And what we built up with last, in 2019, no, was a social enterprise. And we want to help communities and create livelihoods through plastic waste recycling. So nakikita po namin na in many communities, marami mga plastic na generate, especially sa mga urban poor. So we saw na, okay, sige, if there's this problem, we want to give them opportunities to earn from this, no? So I'm glad to see mga previous speakers namin, they're also able to take that to heart. And as we said, talagang social enterprise kami, we want to close the loop on waste. So that's where the name Kloops comes from, closing the loop on waste. So yun, yung talagang focus namin is to work with these communities in need, using that humanitarian engineering concept at its core. So next slide, please. Okay, so dito sa Kloop, in-offer namin is 4 main things. So number 1 is yung technology. So tinutulungan namin yung mga barangays and communities and LGUs how to set up yung mga plastic recycling centers. Kasi yung mga nakikita ko sa mga based research and talk sa mga iba't ibang LGUs, hanggang food waste yung mga recycle nila, kina-compost nila. So kulang talaga yung plastic recycling infrastructure dito. So yun ang gusto namin. We want to help these LGUs upgrade yung MRF nila by providing opportunities para pag-recycle ng plastic into new things. Number 2 is yung mga partnerships. So what we do is that we work together with both yung citywide and municipal level tsaka yung local barangays to be able to build a solution. So last year, isa sa mga key accomplishments namin is yung pag-setup ng Materials Recovery Facility o MRF. Yun sa Barangay Pineda in partnership with other startups and yung Barangay LGUs. So it's very interesting to see how that plays out, no? And really being able to be part of that solution with them. Number 3 is yung mga training din po. So hindi natatapos dun sa pagbigay ng technology, pag-setup ng MRF. It's also about making sure na alam ng community how to use this. So yung tinuturo namin yung community, like for example, ito in this picture, yung mga urban poor women, iba mga out of school, yung mga tambay in the area. So really being able to show them how to use the machines and being able to see how they can earn a living from that. And last but not least nga is yung livelihood aspect po. So going through our training program po, nakaka-receive po sila ng allowance to be able to make some money kahit dito sa mga trying times sa COVID-19, no? So we saw na kahit sa pandemic, it's something na very big problem, plastic waste, tsaka yung livelihood aspect. So we want to combine 2 of these things into our solution po talaga. Next, please. So yun, what I really liked about this solution is that we're able to upcycle plastic and nakakaroon ng mindset shift sa community, no? Na yung dating plastic waste lang, yung dating tinatapon lang, wala talagang regard sa community, ginagawa namin treasure. So kumbaga trash to treasure. Isa sa mga online campaigns namin with the community, ginamit namin hashtag na hashtag may pera sa plastic, no? So ito sa mga picture sa left side, makikita niyo po, ito yung mga nagawa ng community namin. Sila po nag-conceptualize, sila po gumawa nun. And yun, so those are made from yung mga bottle caps, yung mga food containers po. And yun, ito rin as well, ito yung mga plastic tiles made from yung mga sandbag. So it's amazing to see po, no? Kapag binigyan nyo yung proper tools, proper support, yung mga urban poor communities and yung mga underserved communities na marami silang magagawa. Actually, ito sa mga, one of the things I'm proudest of dito sa Kloop, no, is yung picture on the right. So gawa to ng parol to, pero it's made entirely from plastic. So yung mga plastic food containers, sachet po yun sa sides po. Tapos sa kita, may blend made out of sachet plastic. So gawa to, dinesign ng committee talaga to, and they made use of the materials we had on hand sa MRF. So it was very amazing to see na nakakaroon talaga ng mindset shift sa community na there is more to plastic na nakita namin. Instead of low value, mas naging high value na siya sa community. And it's a way to earn a living. Next, please. So yun, so nakikita po namin dito sa Kloop na this is only the first step. So ngayon, nakaroon ng pilot site kami. We had our partnership with the city government of Pasig. So with the support of Mayor Vico, talagang we were able to get this off the ground po talaga. And not only that, yung sa Barangay Pineda, very supportive yung Barangay Council to be able to implement yung solution. So very successful to. We were able to start giving allowances and start making products na kayang mag-earn yung mga committees na to. So over the next few years, gusto namin is makipag-partner with more organizations para makapag-impact na mas maraming tao at pwede mag-upcycle na mas maraming plastic na away from landfills talaga. Ika nga na ibang mga projects dito, talagang zero landfills yung gusto namin. And really trying to divert as much plastic into the circular economy. Which is, and to my last point, no, which is yung big vision namin for the Philippines is that we have a circular economy that empowers underserved Filipinos, no. We don't see them as just beneficiaries, but they're also co-creators to the solution namin. And we want them to be at the center of these things. Instead na afterthought lang sila, we want to put underserved Filipinos in the spotlight. Na sila yung mag-lead the way dito sa new world na envision namin na circular economy. Next, please. So marami kami mga opportunities for those who want to help us out. So sa mga youth dyan, sa mga students, fresh grads who really want to start making a difference, meron kami Club Champion program in partnership with Project Swap. So ambassador program po talaga siya and will teach you how to make yung mga environmental solutions na talagang tutok sa communities, na mas grassroots talaga siya, and being able to serve yung mga communities in need. So we see ibang mga ambassador program solutions namin nakaserve sila sa mga fishing communities, yung iba naman sa online education sector. So very wide range na talaga. But yung pinaka-vision namin dito sa program na to is to empower the youth para mag-turn yung passion nila into action. So kami, ako actually, me and my co-founders, lahat kami students when we started the project, no. And buti na lang may mga support system kami to turn our passion into action talaga. And now we want to pass it on. We want to be the mentors naman of these people na gusto mag-create a difference in environment, and we want to help them out with that. So yun, ambassador program, you can find the details on that dun sa Facebook page namin over the next few weeks. Next, please. Tsaka, i-invite all of you guys also to be a partner with us sa Club. So as we said, yung ginawa namin sa Barangay Pineda, nag-set up kami ng plastic upcycling and training center. So as we said, parang upgrade to sa existing materials recovery facility. So yan yung ginagawa namin. We try to provide yung business support as well as yung technological support para hanggat doon yung mga solution namin, we'll teach you how to do it. And last but not least talaga is a community livelihood program talaga. So nakikita namin with the solution na ini-empower yung community, giving them income opportunities through plastic waste. Diba? So it's open to all private and public partners, whether man na LGU, barangays, or yung mga private sector. We're always happy to work with more people to really scale yung vision namin, to really create this circular economy, nag-empower dun sa mga underserved Filipinos. So ito sa picture namin is yung nanalo kami na isang competition called Climathon. So Climate Hackathon po siya. So that's where we got to meet si Mayor Vico and partner up with him then. So kung gusto niyo makipag-partner sa amin sa Club and be able to bring the solution na andun na sa Pasig and bring it to your community, you can scan itong QR code dito. So lagay niyo lang yung camera dun sa QR code sa screen and you can just message us on Facebook. Or pwede rin mag-email sa club.partnerships@gmail.com. And yun, the last thing I want to leave you with, next slide, is that, it's not something that we can do alone. Alam namin na kahit Club kami, we're doing a lot of things already, but we know na we can do more if we work together. No? So yung last call to action ko sa inyo is that, together, let's close the loop on waste, one community at a time. Thank you very much.
Very good. First of all, natuto ko ako nung sabi mong zero waste. Number 2, upcycling plastic. And everything you're saying is really an implementation of RA 9003 and the not yet enacted law, which is the ban on single-use plastic. Actually, regulation yon. And since we cannot completely ban it for the meantime, then you use it to upcycle. Anong mga materyales ang binigay mo sa local communities, sa barangays, sa Pasig, na sila'y nakagawa ng mga livelihood opportunities for plastic? Did you, as an NGO, as a young entrepreneur, provide it, or did the local government do that? And because the success of the communities you help in Pasig can be replicated. Immediately, my staff are also online. I would like, let's say, the capital town of San Jose in Antique to try it. And in the northernmost town, Pandan, which is right across Boracay, is my hometown, which hosts a protected area. So we could pilot it in those two municipalities, south and north of Antique. But I'd like to know, ano ang binigay ng inyong bagong grupo ng mga kabataan sa mga komunidad para makagawa sila ng kanilang mga kabuhayan, livelihood, to upcycle plastic and to be instruments of change along with you, young entrepreneurs.
Yeah, thank you, Deputy Speaker, no? So with that, yung ginawa namin sa Kloop is that we built these plastic recycling machines po talaga. So it's a funny story din kasi nag-start talaga siya na student project, ginawa siyang class requirement lang po. So kami po nag-weld, nag-procure ng mga gamit. So yung mga dating machines namin is over namin dun sa committee sa Pasig City po. So we realized din po na moving forward na these machines are not very cheap po kasi, no? So what we want to do is work with LGUs para magawa to, para mag-scale ng impact na to. And not every LGU has a lot of capital resources nga po. So we commit, no, if ever na we want interested na mga LGUs or communities to work together with us, mag-partner tayo and hanap tayo ng sources of funding para malagay itong mga solution din sa community.
Immediately, I have a solution because you can partner with the DTI Shared Services Facilities Program that is a project of government that helps LGUs by giving equipment, the materials needed for a livelihood project. So also the Dole Pangkabuhayan is a livelihood program of the Department of Labor to provide livelihood for people, but it is a DTI SSF that gives the equipment. So after this, I hope my staff are always listening and they can help me help you network and give you the DTI SSF focal person so that communities who are willing to partner with you can be given SSF so that the equipment that you had when you were in school na turnover nyo sa Pasig ay syempre limitado at saka how can you fund all of that, and the LGUs, as you said, have limited resources. But for San Jose and for Pandan, I'll take care of it. You just need to lend your time and your expertise. And if there's honorarium, I respect that, that's needed. But you can do it virtually. And the DTI SSF or even the part of the ERA of this LGU, so that I want model communities, because once you have proof of concept, that's what I told all of you, mag-replicate na yan. So, natutuwa ako. Na-measure na ba nyo kung ilang kilo o tonelada ba ng plastic ang na-divert ninyo at na-upcycle?
Yes po. So talaga nung na-launch namin last year, so talagang pandemic, hirap po kami maghanap mga partners for plastic waste. So to date, medyo bago lang tayo nag-start ng plastic collection, but so far, nakakollect kami ng mga 250 kilos of plastic waste na na-upcycle na dun sa MRF. So I guess to put it to simple terms po, I guess one way kasi isa sa mga nakakollect namin na waste is yung mga bottle caps, yung mga pet bottles. So that would translate to around 50,000 na bottle caps, no? Around that much.
Nakakatuwa talaga. So, I'm just full of inspiration from all of you thus far. And thank you so much, Glenn. And I would like to listen now to Wilvie, our fifth presenter. You're all inspiring me. I'm learning from you. And I see my loss, hindi na sayang. Kala ko noon dahil mahirap intindihin yung batas ko, marami nagsasabi, hindi raw kayang ma-implement. Pero kayong mga kabataan, kayo ang sisigaw at magsasabi, may saysay yung batas. Hindi sayang. Buti ginawa. Totoo, minsan give up na ako. Alam ng staff yun, sinasabi ko, ano ba mga ito? Ayaw gawin. Mga mayor, governor, solid waste commission, DNR. Ayaw. Gusto puro basurero. Gusto puro landfill. Gusto puro tapon. Gusto puro fossil fuel. Gusto puro plastic. Ngayon, may nakilala akong 5 na ginagamit ang batas ko. Hindi pala ako nagkamali.
Ay, hindi po kayo nagkakamali.
Dapat ang kausap ko, kabataan. No, at considering, I wrote the laws in 1998. How old were you?
5.
The
2 years
others?
old pa lang.
So,
2 years old.
see? Okay. I wrote the laws for you in mind. Yeah? Change
Maraming salamat po.
Ay, nako, nangingilabot ako. Change is your birthright. And this is the change that we seek. Innovation, technology, climate, environment. Yan. So this is not the last time. I want the 5 of them to present. Let's have a Zoom youth gathering of all SUCs. Nakakatuwa. Right? From small communities to tech apps. Okay, we listen now to Wilvie. Wilvie of Ato Ani Biopack. What is this? Okay. Wow, organic farm. Natutuwa ako sa inyo talaga. From renewable energy, and I'm one of the authors of the Law in 207, to ecological solid waste management, to ban on single-use plastic. Another thing so close to my heart. Siguro nakikita niyo mga post ko sa Instagram. Nako, ako palagi yung mga gulay na tinatanim ko na kinakain ko kasi I grow my own food. Hindi ako bumibili sa supermarket o sa palengke ng gulay dahil tinatanim ko. At saka ang gamit ko, teka, ito, nandito lahat. Mamaya na siguro pakita ko. Hanggang lahat ng gawa ko, bayong, recycled. Gagalit ako pag may bibilin. Ba't kayo bumili ng kamatis? May tanim naman ako. Ba't kayo bibili ng bok choy? Ako yung nagtatanim niyan. So, ako at ang staff at ang pamilya nila, ang laking tipid ay sagot ko na ang pagkain. At isang ulam lang, gaya ng sinabi ko, sauteed na petchay, pinakulong bok choy, at saka adlay na tinanim ko, ayos na yan. Okay. So matututo ako kay Wilvie ng Ato Ani. Yan. Ikwento ang inyong... so are you in Bohol? Where is Wilvie?
I'm currently in Manila, but the team is in Bohol po. Nasa
Okay.
yung farm, partner farmers is in Bohol.
Ay, natutuwa. Anong bayan sa Bohol?
Kambuhat, Benavista, Bohol. Tapos we've expanded sa Anunang, Inabanga, Bohol.
Ay, excited ako. Pakita mo yung presentation nyo. So meron tayong taga Lapu-Lapu City, yung Cloud Grid. Meron tayong Biopack dito sa Buena Vista, Bohol. At meron tayong mga app na waste at saka trash. At meron din tayong Kloop. Ayan, memoryado ko lahat ha. O nakikinig ang aking Tony Rose and Victoria, my two young staff. Did you take the climate reality? I hold you responsible. And Attorney Ipat Luna, you will make sure we will have a presentation of these 5 enlightened youths to a National Youth Zoom, National Youth Climate Zoom, featuring the 5 of them. Natutuwa talaga ako sa inyo. At pinapakita nyo ang pagpatupad ng batas sa maliliit na paraan o malaking paraan ginagamit ang teknolohiya. Okay, Ato Ani, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. So actually, you asked kanina, ano yung ibig sabihin ng Ato Ani? So I'm Bisaya. So Ato Ani is actually Bisaya words. It means Ato, ours, Ani is harvest. But then yung Biopack is new. Ato Ani is agriculture, and then we have a Biopack. This is our second venture, which talks about biodegradable packaging, but using agricultural waste. So next slide, please. So to know more about us, we've actually been recently incubated by Make Sense Academy. So to know more about us, there's a short video.
Being in the agriculture industry, we see the abundance of agro-industrial waste in our country, such as sugarcane bagasse, corn husk, and rice straws, of which a significant percentage is not used. Ato Ani Biopack was born out of our commitment to sustainability, which started with our mother venture Ato Ani that advocates for sustainable agriculture.
Seeing the need to utilize this agro-industrial waste to help solve the growing plastic waste problem,
Ato Ani Biopack is currently being prototyped and developed in-house, with the process starting from raw material preparation, pulping, sheets formation, and finally packaging product formation.
With this, Ato layer in reducing plastic and agro-industrial waste by making affordable and readily available biodegradable and eco-friendly packaging products.
So as we mentioned, Ato Ani is our mother venture. We advocate for sustainable agriculture, a produce to demand database sustainable agriculture. But that's a different story. So this is more of Ato Ani Biopack, because we see from our farming communities that we have engaged to reduce their crop wastage. We also see the need to increase their income, seeing this agricultural waste that is wasted, like corn husk. The prototype you've seen is actually made from corn husk. We also have rice straws. And then we wanted, and also bagas, which are quite abundant. Like you've seen the numbers that is produced here in the Philippines. And we wanted to reduce the use of plastic because we know that we couldn't totally eliminate it, but at least reduce it. So now we actually have two versions of the products. Next slide, please. So next slide, please. So the first one is the pulp base, and this is where we see the need for scale, because we currently have like 17 small businesses who have their own requirements, and also one NGO who are interested and to have a commercial version of this pulp-based product. And I will explain later actually how our plan for that would go. And then we see that the commercial product would go a long way. So we have a version 2 to have an immediate solution and to help the farming community. So slide 2, please. Next slide. Next slide, please. So version 2 is actually more of a physical base. So it's artisan made, so that we don't rely on the chemical way of pulp-based way of doing the packaging. So we have pouch, caution wraps, bags, and fillers. And then these are directly helping the farming communities, our partner farming communities, together with Ato Ani. So we see that as we grow with Ato Ani, the mother venture, we also wanted to grow with Ato Ani Biopack, because in a way they are somehow related. They're both supporting the farming communities. Next slide, please. All right, so right now we have a community, actually it's Ato Ani X Sustainable Packaging Advocates. So we have a community of sustainable packaging advocates. We've conducted like webinars as well, sharing about their solutions. And in fact, Glenn, I think Rach has been with one of our speakers as well. And from this community, we're able to gather those 17 small businesses who are interested to actually use our products once it's commercially available, the pulp-based one, because this is where you see a lot of requirements in terms of food or the packaging that they wanted to have. And also, next slide, please. So our future plan is to actually scale up the solution, because the existing capacity that we have can't keep up to that. Perhaps for version 2 and also for version 1, because this requires a lot of like quality that we can compete with others as well outside our country. So we actually had the discussion with the Philippine Paper Manufacturers Association, Sir Ray Giganto, and with the DNR, I think the last 2 weeks ago, and then in next week with the Climate Change Commission and also the BOI as well, to actually create this pulp conversion hubs, because we see, you know, that the current setup or industry roadmap for the Philippines in terms of this area is we are too reliant on recycled paper for pulp, and we're not using the available materials that we have. We have the rice capital, we have a corn capital in the Philippines, and they're all located in Luzon, but we're not maximizing it. We're relying on like this recycled paper. 95 to 100% of all our paper is in recycled paper. That is why our quality of our products in this area is not so competitive as well. So I think that is why we partner, and hopefully with this discussions, we will be able to create this pulp conversion hubs to be able to supply those needed demand coming from that we have like 17 small businesses and probably more from our community to develop this pulp-based biodegradable packaging from agro-industrial waste in combination, the corn husk, rice straws, and the sugarcane bagasse. And so, next slide, please. If you're interested to be part of our community, to actually share your advocacy in terms of sustainable packaging, or be part of those businesses who are interested once we commercially have available products for this one, for version 1, or even use the version 2, then you can see our group. You can join Ato Ani X Sustainable Packaging Advocates. To know more about Ato Ani or agriculture, we have a website, www.atoani.com, or if you want to know more about Ato Ani Biopack, so it's just /atoani-biopack. And these are the social media handles for all our for Ato Ani Biopack. So you can reach out to these social media handles and email as well. Thank you.
Thank you. That was quick and that was, wow, full packed ang biopack. Ngayon, aside from Buena Vista Bohol, do you already have partners, organizations, local governments, barangay that actually that you work with?
Actually, for the expansion that we have in Anunang, we've partnered with Innovation for Social Impact and Partnership. This is part of the RISE UP program, together with UNDP, PhilDev, and also Australian Aid. And in the future, this is for the Ato Ani agriculture. But as you've mentioned, that we wanted to, as much as possible, incorporate Ato Ani Biopack. So we have a committed expansion in Cebu with World Vision Philippines, but because of pandemic restrictions, we're trying to hold that off and focus on Bohol right now. So, and also we have talks, as I've mentioned, for Ato Ani Biopack with the Philippine Paper Manufacturing Association, and also with DNR and Climate Change Commission to actually have this pulp conversion hubs. Because in terms of industry roadmap, I guess Sir Ray from PPMAI mentioned that they have this proposed before, but then it was not really implemented. And we wanted to implement this right now with them because we see the need for it. This is the lacking piece.
Pulp conversion, is that what you mentioned?
Yeah, pulp conversion hubs, because right now, to be able to have a scale production of low cost, this pulp conversion hubs, current paper mills that we have, they use recycled paper. Reason is because they don't have this conversion hubs that converts this agricultural waste to pulp. So they're relying, their equipment is used to recycled paper and all. So if we have this one, that's why we have a proposal to base it in Pampanga, because we have the rice capital and the corn capital. We have the available raw materials. That's actually a proposal. And then have it in Pampanga because it's near as well a paper mill, which is our, what do you call this? It is our customer in a way. So you can develop products, packaging products that are cost competitive, because right now you see China and all others, we're importing these products. Why can't we produce our own? We have abundance of this agricultural waste.
Even Batangas, Attorney Ipat Luna is on the line, and ang daming bagas, diba? Bagas.
Yes, bagas, yes.
Yeah, kung saan may bagas, yeah. So how much would it cost to build such a pulp conversion system?
Facility? Actually it would cost millions. That's why it would cost millions, because this is a pulp conversion hub. We have large equipment, but you just like combine this with chemicals, and also you have to create the facility, and it will take a while. Even though this is just a small scale, perhaps 15 million would have that. But that's why we're proposing this together with, we have the United Nations Environment Program. I think hopefully if this proposal will be okay, they would help, will fund that. But then again, this is the goal, to have it scale.
To wait for the UN to fund something local would be a tedious, long process. I would like to link you with, again, the DTI Shared Services Facilities, funds innovation for livelihood opportunities that are also environmentally friendly, the DA as well. But I would go for the DTI. Is there any pulp conversion facility that is already being utilized so that we can see how it works and how the community benefits? Wala pa. Okay.
Well, actually, that's why we've this in the industry roadmap that we have with BOI, because Sir Ray Giganto, that's the missing link actually. That's why we asked, before we actually implement something, we asked what is the currently is available, but this is the one that is missing. That's why we're
okay. The missing will be filled. Okay.
Yes.
I texted earlier Victoria of Climate Change Commission, Tony Rose of my office, and Attorney Ipat Luna. We have to shepherd these 5, I'll call you kids, okay? These 5 kids. They're so bright, they're so energetic, they're so passionate, and they're so visionary. Can I say, like me, I mean, when I was your age, I was like that. I'm double your age, but I'm still like you, passionate and visionary, and I want to help you fill in the blanks. In short, ang gagawin nyo, yan ang mga, simplify ko, yan ang mga naisip nyo, imbento nyo, ginagawa nyo, maraming hamon, tao, pera, marami, bureaucracia, lahat. So yung simple nyong presentasyon, pagkatapos ng show, fill in the blank. kamukha sa pulp. Kailangan namin kasi ganito, wala pang proof of concept. Saka na kung saan LGU, ako si solution finder, DTI SSF, DA, ganito. Tapos, yung si Cloud Grid at si App, at lahat yan, ano yung missing link, kayo ang may alam, ako ang hahanap ng solusyon. Kailangan namin ng LGU, hindi kami pinapansin ng mayor. Kailangan namin ng barangay na maraming waste para ako na ang bahala. So, kung pwede after this, it's 11:40. The 5 of you regroup with Tony Rose and Victoria and Attorney Ipat. I hope that Commissioner Rachel can join because no less than the Secretary of Finance has declared a war on plastic in support of my bill and many others in Congress. Now, not all of you are focused on plastic. The Cloud Grid is small-scale solar. The Biopack is agriculture waste. But kasama na rin yan. And then Agri, and then the Cloud Grid. Through, let's say, DOST must be supporting you. You know, there are programs of DOST that set up, start up. Yan ang mga nagpopondo, pero mabagal at masalimuot ang proseso ng gobyerno. But DTI SSF, I think, is faster, but DOST as well. So, kayo muna with the 3 consultants and staff who are with us now so that we see the missing link. Ako si tagahanap ng solusyon. I mean, hindi naman sa pagmamalaki, pero kailangan pagmalaki ko eh. That's my expertise. First, understanding, because I'm a communicator and I listen. Second, operationalizing. And third, finding the solution, converging and networking and getting it done. Because sayang naman ang inyong mga ideya kung hindi kayo maka-reach out sa mga tao because so many things are happening in our communities, in the world. Matatabunan ang inyong magagandang ginagawa. But if there's someone like me who will shepherd you and mentor you and connect you with my 30 years of experience in government, well, 1998, ilan yun? 22 lang pala. Yeah. And that's what government needs to do. Akayin kayo. Kayo na nag-isip para sa kanila. Kaya ako'y natutuwa. So, 11:40. We have to go. I would like just a brief message each for all. Oh, let me just read, I'm sorry, the Facebook messages. And we will be giving out 10 starter kits of the Department of Agriculture for those who want to do urban gardening and our protected areas book. Somebody protected areas book. How come I don't have a copy here? I wish I had a copy of my protected areas book, but we'll be giving away our PA handbook. Can we please give protected areas guidebook to our 5 millennials today so that they see also the laws I authored declaring protected areas. Okay, Victoria of climate change will do that. We have viewers from Antique, Batangas, Baguio, Zamboanga, among many others in Metro Manila. Jolina Joy says, good morning. Alan Carlo Arboleda from Talisay, Batangas. Bel Siagan from Baguio. Nemia Marie Atutubo, God bless you. Anna May, yes. Anna May, USEC of DPWH, you joined the Zoom. You're very bright. Harvard yan. At she worked in my office. She's now with DPWH. City Usman Murod. Okay, Mildred Tapnyo. Seth Pilapil. Oh, hello, climate reality leaders. Antolin Juanillo Cordero from Hamtik. Very good. Arnel Cabanatan. Good day. Marlene, yes, very good. Nice to know there's so many young innovators making a dent. Yes, Marlene Liao's daughter, a millennial, is the one who does this hand-woven patajong. Ay, papakita ko lang. Ayan, no? Hand-woven ito ng mga kababaihan ng barangay Bagtason, Bugasong, Antique. At ang designer ay isang millennial galing Antique na anak ni Marlene Liao. At ito naman ay galing naman sa Cordillera, galing kay Silnag. Nandyan ang kanyang handle sa Instagram. Natutuwa lang akong ipagmalaki ang aking mga suot na gawa ng mga lokal. Okay. Jeffy Baluran from Zamboanga, Virgie Panagiton, Lino Trinidad. It is desirable to build the so-called waste to energy communities. I'm not sure as alternative to other waste as long as it complies with all our existing laws. Ridging Santillan from Pandan, very good. He does home collecting plastics, very good, from kitchen waste, very good. Delef Oquitas, another hour of learning. Yes, you know, this is an hour or more of learning. Nikki Pahati, energy is good. Nikki's from Bulacan. Rhea Rosas Gadi from Quezon City, the waste tracker is a good idea, ensures transparency. Great, Trash Panda. Seth Pilapil, ang cute daw ng reaction ni Lauren Legarda. Thank you for crafting the law. Nakaka-proud. Anong cute kaya doon? Sige, cute pala ako. Sige. Sige. Anyway, so last few words from each of our innovators, millennials today. Can we have last few words from each of you? Whoever wants to speak first, that's okay. No rules. We start with Wilby because you were the last. Okay.
Okay, so I think as a quick, when we think about innovation, it's not necessarily real deep tech, highfalutin. You just need to identify what is the need in your community, and from that need, you can actually identify these innovations. That's why I encourage everyone or youth, particularly on the grassroots level, because they know better what is the need in that community to actually act on it. And as what Deputy Speaker mentioned, connect with people who can help scale up the solutions, who can help create impact with the solutions or concepts that you have.
Very good. Glenn Ongpin, our youngest, 24 years old.
Yeah, okay. So for Mila naman, what I just want to say to all the youth that are out there, alam ko that you have a lot of passion, you have a lot of energy to really do all of these things. And maybe you just don't find the right pathway right now, how to get it out there, no? But what just I want to say to you lang is that there is a way to get it out there. There is a way to turn your passion into action talaga. You know, I know a lot of us right now, medyo nakaka-disillusion yung mga nangyayari ngayon with what's going on sa climate. But if we can work together, we really can solve all these issues nga, no? So don't be afraid to take your passion into action. And if you want help on that, Kloop is always there to support you lang, no? So as we said, Ambassador Program, we'd be glad to have you on if you want to take those first steps.
Good. Marie.
Right. For me, I would like to tell everyone that it starts with awareness. It starts with awareness of what is happening everywhere around you. It starts also with awareness of what the government can offer, especially the existing environmental laws. Hindi po napukulang ang government sa napakarami pong environmental laws. The only thing that's needed is implementation. And yes, like I said, awareness that positive change can happen. If I may be permitted, I'd also like to plug. I am also currently the team leader of Team Ecopolis, which is the current Climathon Pasig 2020 winner. And we have made it to the top 3 in the Climathon Global Awards.
Congratulations.
We are co-winners with Kloop has won in 2019. So I would like to also ask people to tune into the Climathon Awards tonight at 10 p.m. Local time.
Very good. Climathon. Okay. Where is this? Tune in where?
On Facebook Live, on the Climathon Facebook page, the link is available.
Facebook Live. Okay, very good. Thank you. Congratulations as well. Yes, and Rage, you still there?
Yes, well, I'm still here. So thank you so much for inviting me again, inviting me here. So, and congratulations to my fellow innovators. One, I would just like to say po, that this problem for waste management is actually a wicked problem. So it's a really, really big problem that not only us 5, not only Deputy Secretary Lauren Legarda can solve. So everybody should be doing something because it's like a butterfly effect. So if we want to do something about this problem, we just need to do little things, and that can affect into bigger wave, basically. And so this is an infinite game. This is a fight wherein there's environmental link. And so this is an infinite game. Mamatay man kahit ako lumaki, tumanda na ako itself. So there will still be a problem on environmental issues. So this is an infinite game, and it's more on us na may mga powers ngayon, may mga lakas ngayon as the youth, that would make sure na there's a source of power, there's a source of basically a manpower the ideas, the knowledge being built from one generation to another. Yun yung laban natin eh. This is an infinite game. And so it might not, it's more on the last man standing basically. So yeah,
Okay, thank
we would
you.
need everybody.
Jovi, thank you so much. Jovi.
Hello po, Deputy Speaker. Thank you very much po for inviting Light Up Hope PH. A message for the youth: take a closer look in your community. You don't have to like look far. Take action. Volunteer to organizations that is having social impact, especially for the people and the planet. Thank you po.
Very good. Actually, for those who are still looking on how they can help the environment, how to help the planet, simple lang. Una, grow your own food kung kaya. Kung walang lugar, maski sa paso. Pangalawa, iresikulo ang basura sa bahay. Maski na maliit ang bahay, maski walang bahay, maski nakikitira, hiwalay ang balat ng kinakain, ng saging, ihiwalay ang papel, iwalay ang bote, lata, plastic. Yun lang, may contribution ka na. Or sa Facebook, teki ka, i-share mo ito. O, kung kaya mo mag-volunteer, mag-volunteer. Pero alam natin, maraming problema ngayon, maraming hamon. So, sinisimplehan ko na ang kaya nyong gawin. Hiwalay mo lang ang basura at turuan mo ang kapatid mo at nanay mo ngayon. At yung kapitbahay nyo na nagtatapon. Uy, narinig ko. Kay Loren Legarda, may batas na pala yan. Matagal na pala yan, 2001, 20 years na. Ba't hindi nyo gawin natin? Ganun lang. O magtanim tayo ng talbos ng kamote sa isang paso. Baka it might grow. Ganun lang, ganun kasimple. But you, young people, have done much more than that. And I admire you, I commend you, and I want to help you more than just talking about all your projects for almost 2 hours and to fill in the gaps so that your efforts would bloom 1,000-fold. On that note, I thank all of you for being with us. This is the Stories for a Better Normal, and indeed, for 31 episodes every Thursday since the middle of the pandemic, since I passed in the House of Representatives the bill called Better Normal Bill. Whether it is enacted into law or not, that's for Congress to act on. But what's important is that we have operationalized it. We have made people aware, not just the new norm and never going back to the old norm, but the better normal means it is a green normal, it is a healthy normal, a resilient normal, a sustainable normal, because the world is in a reset. That pause and that reset is a time for us to shift to that better norm. And all of you have provided the opportunity and the avenue and the climate pathways to that better norm. And what better way to celebrate the beginning of the decade of ecosystem reformation than now. Thank you so much to all of you. As we say in Antique, duro gid nga salamat, palangga ko kamo. To those in Cebu, maayong buntag. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Thank you. Regards to the people in Bohol as well. Wish I could visit all of you soon. Victoria and Tony Rose and Ipat, please e-huddle after your lunch break. Thank you.
Will do, ma'am. Thank you.